In a world where music often changes with the wind, some sounds remain eternal. Some names echo across decades, undimmed by time. And on a night heavy with memory, with riffs that defined generations, one chapter ended, not in silence, but in thunder. Black Sabbath, the architects of heavy metal. The fathers of the dark, the loud, the powerful. On July 5, at Villa Park in Birmingham, the city where it all began, Black Sabbath performed what will be remembered as their final concert. It was more than a show. It was a requiem for an era. A celebration of a legacy. A bow from giants who once changed the shape of music itself. And standing among the crowd, feeling the pulse of every riff, was Billy Corgan. The Smashing Pumpkins frontman, a student of Sabbath's sonic brutality. A worshipper at the altar of distorted guitars and rhythmic doom. Corgan called it, beautiful and bittersweet. And how else could it be described? To witness the original four, Ozzy Osbourne, Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, and Bill Ward, reunited again, for one last time, was to witness history being sung, screamed, and shredded. It had been almost 2 decades since they had all stood together on a stage. But on this night, the past dissolved. Only presence remained. Only the sound. Only the bond that had formed between 4 working-class boys in Birmingham and the world they would change. It was electric. It was emotional. It was final. Fans traveled from around the globe. They came not just to hear the music, but to say thank you. Thank you for the power. Thank you for the fearlessness. Thank you for the darkness that felt like home. They came to pay tribute not just to a band, but to a movement. A rebellion. A sound that refused to be quieted. Corgan's words captured what so many felt. A sense of honor to be there, but a heaviness that comes only when legends say goodbye. There was no artifice in his tribute. Only admiration. Only reverence. He didn't just hear Black Sabbath's music, he lived it. It ran in the DNA of every Smashing Pumpkins album. Every layered guitar. Every sonic descent into chaos and beauty. Sabbath gave birth to more than a genre. They gave birth to generations of musicians. Each chasing the shadow of a power chord. Each searching for that edge between noise and transcendence. Villa Park became sacred ground that night. The sky above Birmingham seemed to hum with approval. The crowd roared not just for the songs, but for the years. For the memories forged in bedrooms, garages, arenas. For every teenager who found their voice in a Sabbath lyric. For every outsider who found belonging in that deep, grinding sound. Ozzy was Ozzy, mad, magnificent, magnetic. Iommi's riffs were sharp as ever, cutting the air with the same fury that once shocked the world. Geezer held the low end like a storm. And Bill Ward, back at last, carried the beat of 1,000 memories. It wasn't just nostalgia. It was resurrection. It was defiance in the face of age and time. It was Black Sabbath saying, we were here. We mattered. We still do. Billy Corgan, watching from the wings of the crowd, knew what he was seeing. He knew that torch was being passed, not just to him, but to all who dared to carry distortion into the future. He knew the weight of legacy. He knew the price of greatness. And he bowed, not with words, but with respect. Because sometimes, the loudest statements come not from guitars, but from silence. From awe. From watching titans take their final steps. The night closed with cheers and tears. The crowd did not want to leave. But even gods must rest. Even legends must lay down their weapons. And as the amps cooled and the lights dimmed, something sacred lingered in the air. A final note that will never truly fade. A vibration that will carry forward, in every garage band, every stadium act, every soul who believes that music should be loud, honest, and alive. Black Sabbath didn't just end a concert. They closed a book. One written in distortion, rebellion, sweat, and immortality. And Billy Corgan, he stood among us, grateful, awed, changed. And through him, and through us all, Sabbath will never really say goodbye.